Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Chard. Welcome to 1 foot of books, or 30 centimeters of books, if you like every other country apart from America and maybe Italy, something like that, who don't use the metric system. Anyway, 1 foot of books. This is a show where I just basically go through my bookshelves and have a look at the books 1 foot at a time. I don't want to do a full tour because that would take a couple of hours, and no one's got time for that. And I thought, break it down to 1 foot. I did start out making some videos called 2 foot of books, but 2 feet is too much. It was like 45 minutes, almost half, getting close to an hour per show. I was like, no, 1 foot of books. Let's just do one. So this will be going on for a while because I've got a big book collection, mostly culled from my friend's secondhand bookshop, who I was lucky enough to be friends with and be involved with at the shop for a good number of years, and just me going around op shops, thrift stores as they call them in America. I don't like you mentioning America today. Op shops, go to op shops like the Salvation Army, NOFs, Venice, Red Cross, Cat Protection Society, all sorts, any and all op shops. You tell me an op shop, I'll be there. Love op shops, man. So yeah, we're going to go through a few books today, some hardcovers, a couple of bigger soft covers, but yeah, got my coffee. How's your coffee today? I try to get my coffee from a local coffee roaster up here. I'm not going to mention their name yet because maybe I'll get some free coffee off them or something. I think they're called 3 Arrows. There you go. They're up in Windmilly, up in the Blue Mountains. Today I'm just on the $5.50 per 250 gram Coles, like special something. It's organic apparently. Cheap coffee. But it's, it's not bad. It's not bad. It does the job. I just need the drugs. Alright. Let's get into the book tour. 1 foot of books. Episode, I think this is 5. Too Good to Be True. A comprehensive and entertaining look from the ultimate authority on the almost unbelievable tales that happen to be from a friend of a friend. This is the colossal book of urban legends, compiled by Jan Harold Brunvand, the author of numerous books including The Vanishing Hitchhiker, The Choking Doberman, Curses, Broiled Again, and The Baby Train. Yeah, it's just a big book of urban legends. Which is pretty cool. It's kind of like it's not in the best condition. There's some pages coming out, which has kind of kept me away from this book. Like, I want to read parts of it, but I don't want to add to the damage. I mean, it's not, how old is this book? It's not that old. 1999. I mean, I could easily find another copy of this if I wanted to. Or I could stick some glue in here and get it fixed. But it's a big, big, comprehensive book of urban legends, as it says. Alligators in the sewers, a pet in the microwave, a tragic misunderstanding of the function of cruise control. No, it didn't really happen to your friend's sister's neighbor. It's an urban legend. So there you go. Yeah, let me get into this book. If you've read this book, let me know. Is it worth me getting another copy so I don't damage it further by reading it? Yeah. See, I'm damaging it now. Oh, God. Why did I get this copy? It's falling apart. It's not bad. Treasure Trove by Tim Haydock. Where to find the great lost treasures of the world. This is a hardcover book from 1986. It's a kind of just a rundown of like 20 famous like treasure stories, and their associated kind of facts and mysteries around them. So you got things like the island of Agrihan and the Mariana Islands of the North Pacific. Apparently there's some pirate booty up there. Basinghouse, Basingstoke, Hampshire, England, Catholic treasure from the Civil War. The Cocos Islands of Costa Rica in the East Pacific, Bonito's Hoard, and Lima Gold. That's the article that really grabbed me. I was researching the Cocos Island in Costa Rica, or part of Costa Rica, and the legends around that island and its supposed treasure, the treasures that it holds. So I basically got this book for that. But there's awesome, cool other stories as well. The old Lost Silver Mine in the San Saba Mine in Menard, Texas. Buried Jesuit riches in Bolivia. The Lost Jesuit Silver Mines in Mexico. Very cool book. It's a rubbish truck going past. This is from 1986. I got this at a second-hand shop that was in Newtown in Sydney. It's since, I think it's moved from Newtown to Paddington. I think it was called Bloodworth Bellamy. And I paid $35 for this book. I was happy to pay $35. It's in pretty good condition, although now that I look at it, there are, like, half of it just fell out. Probably just need some glue, some bookbinding glue. Yeah, but no, yeah, it's not looking good. I have read this a few times. I really like this book. Cool stories in it, cool legends, you know, facts that turned into legends and stuff like that. And you know, is there anything out there really? You know, there still is, but yeah, cool book. I'm gonna have to look at fixing that. Craig Cormack, Shipwrecks of the Southern Seas. I got this from the Cat Protection Society in Newtown one day. It's by Craig Cormack, is an Australian writer and academic. It's basically full of shipwrecks from the Southern Seas, mainly around the Pacific. Yeah, again, cool book, cool history, lots of shipwrecks out there, man. There you go. Yeah, cool book. I've flipped through it a few times. How much did I get this for? $3. It's relatively recent too, I believe. If I can find the date page. It's probably self-published, so there's probably no date page on it. It's timeless, sir, timeless. Oh, there it is. Published 2011. Craig Cormack is a Canberra-based author and science communicator. Science communicator. Not a bad book. I was going through kind of like a shipwreck phase, and I was reading a lot about shipwrecks, and picked that up. Got this from the Dulwich Hill Vinnies. It's a textbook. The Archaeologist's Field Handbook. Heather Burke and Claire Smith. Someone's lovingly covered it. This is a cool book. It's a 2004 edition. I'm a fan of archaeology and stuff like that. It's written from the Australian perspective, and it's very heavy. This is purely like it's a textbook. It's not a sit down and read cover to cover kind of thing. Very specific, lots of hard science information, and probably would do better in the collection of an actual archaeologist than apart from me. But who knows, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. Maybe I'll read more of it and become an amateur archaeologist. I don't know. What am I talking about? Oh, okay, we're into some heavy books now. Not so much heavy as in, like, just weight heavy. Good coffee. Larousse, World Mythology. Great cover. It's been covered by my friend Rachel. Oh, God, it's heavy. This is a it looks to me to be a 1960s kind of edition. 1965. Full. I don't know how well you guys and people out there can see this, but it's full of awesome photos, pictures, art, and basically is a rundown of world mythology, empires of the ancient Near East, the hymns of creation, looking at Sumner, Babylon, the Hittites, and the Hurrites and the Hittites, Siberia, India, Oceania. It's a mammoth book. It's 550 pages. A worthy reference tool for anyone interested in world mythology. You do see this around a little bit. If you go to so I dare say proper secondhand bookshop, a bookshop that deals exclusively in books, not rather just like a Vinnie's and Salvo's and news kind of like, I hope there's something cool today. But you're going to go to any kind of like specific shop, bookshop, and a secondhand shop should have something like this or this one. Great book. I have seen it around, but only in secondhand bookshops. This is a present from my friend Rachel from the bookshop. Anthony S. Mercatante. Encyclopedia of World Mythology and Legend. This, like Larousse's World Mythology, covers world mythology and legend, but it is way more of an encyclopedic thing. This one kind of generally goes over a lot of different areas and time frames, but this is like a dictionary. This is like an encyclopedia. It's laid out alphabetically and goes through tons. N, Nut, sky, the Egyptian goddess. S, Shan Dao, in Chinese legend, one of the 7 Chulin Chi Sin, 7 immortals. He is the patron of rising talent, portrayed as an old man with a staff. In Japanese legend, he is called Santo. Gilgamesh, looks like there's a few pages on Gilgamesh, because he was an important figure. God in the rising waters, Jewish fable found in the Midrash. Once the waters of the earth kept rising, reaching almost to God's throne. The Almighty said, "Be still!" But the waters cried out, "We are the mightiest of all creation. Let us flood the earth." God became angry, saying, "I will send sand on the earth, and it will make a barrier to contain you." If you want to know the rest of that legend, look up God in the Rising Waters. Ginseng, Mukasa, mulberry. Yes, an exhaustive text, a great research tool, and something like, it's a good book to pick up and just kind of spend an evening with. Have a couple of cups of tea, put on some nice relaxing music, and just like delve into the rich history that humans have made up over the millennia, and they've been recorded. Great book. I really like this book. I've sat with it many times. This is a 1988 edition. Very cool. Utopia. Ian Todd and Michael Wheeler. This is an exploration of the idea of utopias, and throughout history, of course, Thomas More's famous book about utopias, but an exploration of the idea, an exploration of people and places that tried it, full of great art, great drawings, some photos, some architecture, and if you're interested in like the idea of utopia, how it works, how it should work, how it doesn't work, how people want it to work, this is a great book. I have used it a couple of times when researching for articles. That was a while ago. This is a 1978 edition. Got a little rip in the bottom. Where did I get this from? I believe I got it out of a box at my friend's bookshop, and I took it home. I've talked about this guy before. Neville Drury, an Australian writer. He explored the kind of like the higher consciousness movement back in the 60s and 70s. And he edited this book. Looks like he edited a magazine called Cosmos back in the day. This one's called Frontiers of Consciousness. I found this at the Salvos in Marrickville. It's a compilation of stuff from the Cosmos magazine. When is this from? 1975. So right in the kind of middle of all that stuff. Part 1, The Voice of the East, The Highest Ideal of Man from the Viewpoint of Vedanta by Ian Taylor. Any recognizable names in here? I think they're all Australian, so I don't really know them. Yeah, cool book. I have read a couple of articles in this. Very much of the time, you know, 1970s. All that stuff was kind of relatively new. A lot of stuff from the east coming to the west. Cool book. I'm glad I've got it in my collection. It's kind of falling apart a little bit, but it's, hey, it's almost 50 years old. And I do like that book. I have much respect for Neville Drury. Passed away a few years ago now, but he did a lot of good work in Australia. I've got a few of his books around in my collection. This one I got from my friend's dead uncle's collection that I've talked about before. The Complete Sherlock Holmes. And it's kind of like a weird big edition. And it's kind of semi-illustrated a little bit, but not really. But anyway, it's, yeah, I don't know why it's in this big edition, but it's all the Sherlock Holmes stories. And it's cool. I like it. I'm glad I've got it. I haven't read any of them. I don't think I've read any Sherlock Holmes stories. But I'm glad I've got this version of it, because they're all in one, and it's a nice, easy, grabbable kind of edition. What is this? Union officials. Oh, yeah. So, 70% of ministers in Rudd Labour government will be anti-business union officials. Okay. Yes, and my friend's dead uncle was a bit of a, you know, upstart, revolutionary activist. Yeah. Died in a one-bedroom apartment in North Sydney with an awesome book collection. This is one of them. Frederick Node, the ultimate book. Sorry, the book for the guitar. I do play guitar, and this is a kind of intro and workbook for classical guitar. I have made it that far in it since, and I've had it about 10 years. It's, you know, I don't put enough work into doing guitar, practicing guitar, learning how to play guitar. I just kind of pick it up and go at it. But there was my practice schedule for a little while. Back in 2019, exercise 1, 15 minutes, 80 BPM. Exercise 1, 2 and 3 for 25 minutes at 80 BPM. Exercise 9 and 11, 30 minutes at 80 and 90 BPM. There you go. Learning guitars, musical instruments and stuff like that, there's many ways to approach it, and it is kind of like a science kind of thing as well. And the more you learn about it, the better you're going to be. Great book. I really do like this book. It's very comprehensive. There's lots of books like this, so don't feel like you've got to get this specific one. But yeah, cool book. I like it. One of my favorite books of all time. The World Encyclopedia of 20th Century Murder. This is from 1989, I think. Sorry, 1992. Sorry, my moustache is getting a bit long. It kind of tickles my nose. J. Robert Nash. Oh my God. Me and this book have some history. I'll tell you what. I love this book. I got it for my birthday from my parents. And this is in the early 90s. Must have been 1992 or 93 at the latest. But I loved this book. I read it cover to cover many, many times. I was obsessed with serial killers at that time. And I still I'm not a fan, but I do like reading about them. And oh my god, I love this book. Not this book, not this specific copy. The first copy I had, I swapped for a copy of American Psycho with a friend because I wanted to read that, and he wanted to read this. So I was like, "Do you want to swap American Psycho for my 20th Century Murder Encyclopedia?" And he was like, "Yep." And we swapped it, and we never swapped back. I think I've still got the original American Psycho that I swapped off him for. But this one I found at the Dulwich Hill Vinnies, and my God, did my heart skip a beat when I saw this spine that was so instantly recognizable to me. I got this for $5. I took it to my friend's bookshop. She covered it for me. I was so glad to have this back in my life, in my collection. I thought about it often in the preceding, you know, probably 20 plus years since I swapped it and never saw it again. And I love this book. It's an it is what it is. It's an encyclopedia up to about 1990 of murders in graphic detail. All the famous ones, but tons of ones you've never heard of that are just wild and crazy. And amazing and horrible, and oh, I love this book. It's part of me, this book. It's part of me. If you got any books that are part of you, or, you know, left for a while and then came back under happy circumstances, let me know in the comments down below. I think that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I know there's something like 700,000 hours of YouTube content uploaded every day, and I'm really appreciative of you guys, you people, whoever's tuning in, for tuning in and watching it, especially all the way to the end. Like, thanks heaps for listening to me rattle on about books from my collection. And if you want me to have a look at your collection, and you got videos as well, say hi. Link in the description, a link down below, whatever you say, I don't know. Tell me you're alive and what you're doing on YouTube, and you know, that's cool. That'd be great. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye from the Blue Mountains of Australia. Sydney. Well, not city. Sydney's down the hill, but we're up in the mountains. It's hot today. It's summer. Yay, summer. All right. See you next time.